Okay, welcome to the Talon Sports Podcast. We're going to be talking about all current sports news in all four major leagues and beyond. So, anybody want to start?
Yeah, that was a big showing from the Rays last night. Tying the series up at 1. Brandon Lowe having 2 home runs, going 2 for 4, and Blake Snell really pitching it really well for the Rays up until the top of the 5th, where Chris Taylor took him deep, or the bottom of the 5th, where Chris Taylor took him deep. The Rays completely outmatched the Dodgers in pitching, in my opinion. Even though the Dodgers got Walker Buehler and Kershaw, I think in total the Rays have a better pitching staff, which will lead them to maybe making it go to 6.
I don't know if that's totally true. Think the Rays have like a better starting rotation, top 3 in their starting rotation, not by much either, but I think the Dodgers have the better bullpen. I saw a statistic yesterday during the game that the Dodgers have made something like 6 or 7 more pitching changes during the playoffs in 2 less games than the Rays, even though the Rays were said to have like the best pitching rotation in MLB.
What are your predictions for the series? I have the Dodgers, but how many games?
No, I still have the Dodgers because the Rays have limited offense, but
yeah, they're inconsistent.
Yeah, I would say Dodgers in 6, but if the Rays can get start from Charlie Morton tonight,
5 or 6, honestly.
It's already 1-1. I don't see the Dodgers winning 3 straight.
Yeah.
Especially the Rays have Glasnow, Snell, and Morton. One of them's bound to have a good game in the next 3 games. So I think at some point, it's not they're going to get another win at least.
Yeah, at any point, though, the Dodgers can really put up 10 to 11 runs on the Rays easily, even though the Rays got a great rotation. You saw what they did against the Braves. Their offense is so stacked. They're literally the Warriors of the MLB. They have to win this series. Dave Roberts, I think, should be fired if they don't win the series. Their manager.
They've paid so much. It's crazy. Over the past, how many years is it?
Yeah, I think I saw Kershaw and Mookie combined this year are getting paid, and that's before Mookie's extension kicks in, are getting paid $26 million for this year.
That's just ridiculous, honestly.
Is getting paid $28 million.
Oh, yeah, compared to the Rays payroll, isn't the Rays payroll the second lowest in the league? I believe behind the A's.
Yeah, third lowest.
The Rays payroll, I'm pretty sure, is lower than Kershaw and Mookie's combined payroll.
It's crazy. It's like the movie Moneyball, going off of cheap, low payroll. And the Red Sox got Chaim Bloom, who also has a cheap payroll. So I don't know what they're gonna do from there, but yeah.
The payroll is $28.3 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, and isn't the Dodgers well over $100 million?
Yeah, it's
well, that is also because it's a shortened season.
Yeah.
So in a full 162 game season, it would have been $67.6 million.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Which is about $40 million less than the Dodgers over if it was a full season.
What was that, Daniel?
Elliot, what do you think? What are your predictions? You got Dodgers in 6. What do you got?
Bro, I got Dodgers in 5. To be honest, I saw a great performance from Blake Snell. Glass now scares me right now, and I've seen so many pitchers that have they dominate the regular season, and if they're young or inexperienced, they just kind of fall apart in the postseason. So yeah. I just think the Dodgers' experience is gonna take them. It's gonna take them a long way. It could go into 6 if the Rays, surprise, they pull out a few more games. But right now, even with the loss, I still think the Dodgers are the heavy favorite.
Yeah, hopefully Glasnow doesn't fall apart like last year.
I like him. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah, they played against the Astros last year in the divisional series, and he was tipping pitches. He was basically changing his motion the way he was throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because he hadn't pitched in 4 months. He'd been out.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you got these like the small. I mean, it's not like a small city, but you got like the smaller, not as well known city as Tampa Bay going against Los Angeles. But like both of these cities both have a championship. The Tampa Bay got the Lightning this past summer, and the Los Angeles obviously has the Lakers this summer. So I mean, these two cities are really making a comeback.
Yeah, I don't think Tampa Bay winning is good for any league because they just like Tampa Bay teams just have zero fan base whatsoever, which is like why you probably saw that like game one had the lowest viewership in any MLB game in like decades. I think it was. There's like 9.6 million viewers, which is pretty miserable.
I mean, it also
if you have an LA team now.
I mean, it has to be no fans as well. I mean, with the NBA, the ratings were down, and like everyone's making the argument, or other people are trying to make the argument saying like, oh, it's because they're doing all these messages, or oh, like it's just not that fun to watch. But like in reality, it's just because of the fans. People want to see the fans and see all the noise.
I guess.
Simulated noises.
Yeah. So I looked up payrolls for MLB teams, and I found it interesting. So the Red Sox have one of the lowest this year. Have one of the lowest 28-man payrolls. So like that's the 28 guys on their roster, but they have so much money tied up in like buried cash and having to pay players that they traded away still, that they actually have the third highest payroll this year out of any team.
That's
so
very
they're still
interesting
dishing
to
out the
think
third
about it.
highest amount of money. So their payroll this year was $83 million, but they only paid their roster $34 million.
That's 50 mil in dead cash, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is you should not have that much dead cash.
But that's why you saw them paying getting rid of Mookie Betts, because you'd have to re-sign Mookie Betts for what was it, like $30 million a year now, for 10 years, and you already have $50 million a year in like dead cash. It's just a lot to deal with, and they'd be in the luxury tax, which adds even more. So
yeah. I mean, like most of the teams that are like have low payroll are not that successful. The only teams I've seen that have low payroll, the league average, where is the league average? It looks like it's around 59 million. So, I mean, the only teams that are below the league average are like good teams are the Twins, the White Sox, the Indians, and the Rays. I only see 4 legit teams that are below that. So, I mean, I think you need a higher payroll to win, but I don't know. It's kind of weird seeing that the Rays are just developing guys, making like low trades, and somehow getting these star players. I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah. Well, you look at their depth chart. I think it was 2 seasons ago. Remember when they traded Chris Archer away? They didn't have a single starter on their rotation depth chart.
Yeah, but that's the reason they had Blake Snell in the Cy Young. So.
Yeah. So the way that they're able to develop players is, and I'm a huge Kevin Cash fan, their manager. He's just been doing a hell of a job. Like he's very underrated, and I know Bob Melvin won it for the A's last year. I think it should have gone to Cash, just because what he's able to do. Like he's learned from the best. He's gotten mentored from the best, and I just think he's a very underrated manager.
Yeah, but I think he has the best to work with. Like he has one of the best, if not the. I mean, he has top 2 pitching rotation in the MLB. So I mean, from a manager's perspective, like you could just put anyone in, and to have confidence that they're gonna pitch well is like the easiest. Managers makes the manager's job so much easier.
Well, his staff has developed them, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's not his job. Like development isn't his thing. So to say that like the development of their draft picks is because of him, then I don't think that's fair. Just the fact that he has the best rotation in the league really helps him out.
Yeah, he's a good manager. I feel like besides Bill Belichick, Popovich, maybe some other older managers or coaches, I feel like the younger managers and coaches are much more successful these days because players can easily relate to them. Like you got Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur,
Shanahan.
Yeah, Shanahan, Nick Nurse, Brad Stevens, Kevin Cash. When he was here, Alex Cora. I mean, these players can relate to these young coaches. I mean, I think we're in another era where it's like if you're below 45 years old, players relate to them so easily for some odd reason.
I think you're seeing that with Vrabel too. I mean, he's
Vrabel's only like in his 30s or 40s.
Vrabel's like 50, I think 50 something.
The player
close
coach.
enough.
Yeah. No, I went to preschool with Mike Vrabel's son when he was on the Patriots.
Yeah, the Titans are crazy right now. Derrick Henry, he's literally
Tannehill's having an MVP season, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, Vrabel's 45 as well.
Yeah, he's gonna win Coach of the Year. I think Vrabel deserves to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Henry's playing like last season. Like he's going off.
I think he's being overhyped a little bit, but
yeah, no, Henry, in my opinion, is a little bit getting a bit overhyped because of how the end of last year, really their entire playoff run at the end of last year was him just running the ball over every defense. Like that played into a lot of factors in a lot of people's mindset of how he is. And to me, he's just more of a ground and pound style back who's able to break off the big runs, but gives us incremental 3-4 yard gains.
No, he struggles getting he doesn't, for as big as he is, he doesn't get the push through that you'll see with Zeke, where, even if he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, he's still getting 4, 5, 6 yards because he's just so big and powerful. But he's the best open field runner in the NFL easily.
Winter is coming.
When Derrick Henry ended that cornerback's career, that was
Was
Josh
it Josh
Norman.
gosh, yeah.
I mean, I think Henry's dominant even in this day and age, but I feel like he's a running back in the wrong era.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
put him in the 80s, put him in the 70s, or even the 90s.
He gives me flashes of Herschel Walker, if you think about it.
Yeah, him or I don't know, Jim Brown, just the big ground and pound running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said Eric Dickerson kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he's probably at best he's the third best running back in the league. I don't think he's top 2 in my opinion, but
I feel like top 2 would be
who would you put above
Saquon
him or in the same category?
when healthy, McCaffrey, and then Kamara.
Maybe Saquon. Saquon has a horrible offensive line and he still shines through it.
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is insane too.
If you
Dalvin
Cook doesn't block
with the offensive line that is in regards to the Cowboys or the Eagles last year, he would practically break the rushing record, if I'm being honest.
I mean, is it safe to say that Zeke is overrated?
Zeke is
no.
I think
a little overrated. Not that much, but a little. He has the talent. He just has had great offensive lines.
He had a great offensive line for the first 2 years of his career, but then the Cowboys O-line is solid now, but it's not it's not the best in the league by any means.
It's not the Great Wall of Dallas anymore.
It's not that great this year.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still going to put up well over 1,000 yards rushing this year. So
we're going to talk about his fumbling, his butterfingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the first time.
Half.
I know. It's kind of it seems like it's just a fluke.
I mean, you don't really see, from these star running backs, you don't see them make a lot of, fumbling errors that much. They have a lot of, ball security in mind when they run. It's just not often you see a guy like Zeke who just fumbles the ball twice in a half.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that from LaShawn McCoy during his prime bunch. He was, the only guy that I saw it. But that's because he, held it with, 2 fingers while he was
bread.
Running. Just
like a loaf of bread.
I mean,
Sean McCoy even now just holds the ball with his pointer and his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Just begging people to make him fumble.
I don't think the hiring of Mike McCarthy to that team was that smart. As an offensive-minded coach, I don't think it was necessary the Cowboys. The talent was already there in the offense. They should have signed a defensive-minded coach because the defense is atrocious. I mean, I wouldn't say talent-wise it's there. They have Jalen Smith, Byron Jones, Van Der Esch.
Yeah, Byron Jones is on the Dolphins now.
Jones,
they let him go free agency.
Oh, crap, I forgot he signed there. But they have Leighton Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith.
But Van Der Esch is
Marcus
injured.
Lawrence.
And Van Der Esch is injured. You have an older Sean Lee who's also injured.
Sean
I mean, yeah, but
can't stay on
I
the
think
field.
he's injured.
But their defense isn't that bad to the point where they should just getting destroyed. I mean, McCarthy's playbook is terrible, and there's been players in the Cowboys who said that he comes to games unprepared or he comes to practice unprepared. I saw a report on ESPN for that.
That locker room's not in great shape.
It's a mess in there. I mean, I feel bad for Dak, but even with Dak putting up crazy numbers, they were, 1-3 until he got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys should be lucky that they're in the worst division in the world.
Yeah, they're still in first place. That's crazy.
They're in first place with their star quarterback down. It's because the Eagles have no offensive line, no receivers. The Giants are just atrocious, and then the football team is a football team.
No, I could definitely see like one of those teams making it in with like 4 or 5 wins, making the playoffs with like 4 or 5 wins.
They're actually gonna have a losing record.
Yeah, who do you see actually making it out of there?
Honestly,
I think it's the
see the
Eagles.
Cowboys or the Eagles.
I
Because
think Washington could do it.
Washington could do it, except I just have – other than that Eagles, the first game of the season against the Eagles, their defense and Chase Young has really been contained. If you think about it. Other than when they're –
What's the easier schedule for the rest of the season? Yes, is the big question.
Yeah, I mean, if Saquon were to come back, he's not coming back, obviously. But if you say we were to come back like week 12 or something, maybe the Giants could have done something. But I think the Giants are
terrible.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones and whoever the football team's quarterback is at this point are just running for their lives.
I have no clue what's going on there. It's either Alex Smith, Haskins, or
Haskins is the third string. Alex Smith is the backup, I think.
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen's a starter.
They officially need to get Trevor Lawrence. They have to take Trevor. I don't think
the Jets are doing that before them, though.
Yeah, but I mean, Darnold's not the problem there. It's Gase.
It's Gase, except by the time they get rid of Gase, they're probably going to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, because if not, the football team has to trade up to get Trevor Lawrence. Like, their quarterback situation is the worst in the league.
Right. The Cowboys only face 3 teams over 500 for the rest of the season. So I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, they face the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Niners. The rest of them are against. They play the Eagles twice.
3 of the better defenses in the league.
Yeah, but the rest of their schedule is like the Eagles twice, the Vikings, Washington, Cincinnati, and the Giants.
I mean, Cincinnati has a decent defense, but the rest of those are horrible teams in general.
Yeah, but they're not as worried about a defense as they are like any offense that can put up points because their defense is so garbage.
Yeah, they played the football team on Thanksgiving.
I honestly don't think like the schedules will matter all that much. It's really just going to come down to the divisional games because it's basically who can win those really bad games.
Yeah, I mean, they play the Eagles twice, and they got their football team, and they play them on Thanksgiving. I'm looking at the Thanksgiving schedule. Other than the Sunday night game, other than the night game with the Ravens and Steelers, I mean, Thanksgiving is terrible this year. It's the Texans, Lions, and then the football Washington, Dallas. I mean, that's atrocious.
Branching off of that, the Ravens, they acquired Ngakoue from the Vikings, and they also signed Des Bryant to their practice squad today.
No, the Ngakoue ad is huge. Like the Ravens, when they added Calais Campbell in the offseason, like it was. I mean, I said that the Ravens were going to have the best defense in the league when they signed Calais Campbell, and now they added another top 10 pass rusher. It's just like.
You know, I was talking to Jordan Bradley. I told him I'm like the Ravens are adding Ngakoue. He's like, who? Like Yannick Ngakoue, you don't know? He's like a top 5 defenseman. You didn't know who he was.
I mean, he's not like a big. He's not a big name player. He hasn't really.
He's underrated as hell, though.
He was in Jacksonville. Like
he was in Jacksonville. He did good in Jacksonville when they had that great defense,
Yeah.
but then they shipped him off to Minnesota. And then
he wasn't even on that team when they had like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he wasn't even on that team.
Yeah, that was when Calais
He was
Campbell.
drafted like a year or 2 later.
Yeah, listen to the Ravens' defensive weapons: Yannick Ngakoue, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Patrick Queen, Matthew Judon, and Calais Campbell. Like that's absurd.
The Ravens secondary is actually insane.
I mean,
It's
I would have
crazy
been
good.
more.
Yeah, but now their front 4 are insane. Judon, Calais Campbell and Ngakoue in their front four is nuts.
Yeah.
They could just rush 3 the entire year, and they will still have more sacks than half the teams in the league.
Yeah, and
And
speaking
then-
of the Vikings with Ngakoue, 20 or 30 minutes ago, Daniel Hunter was just shut down for the season. So
Yeah.
the Vikings,
That Vikings
are hoping
defense
they
has
can come back.
nobody anymore.
Yeah, I thought they'd come back and do something, but with their hopes of coming back of not having anyone in the front seven besides Anthony Barr, I guess, and Linval Joseph, that team's
How much longer is
Linval
Kirk Cousins
Joseph is
under
on the
contract?
Chargers now.
I keep forgetting all these free agents.
That's honestly, in my opinion, the 3 scariest defensive lines in the league. You have Baltimore, you have the Steelers, and then you have the Chargers. The Chargers have Bosa, Ingram, and Joseph. Steelers have Watt, Tuitt, and Hayward, and Dupree, and half the other people on that line. And then the Ravens we just listed out. You have these teams that have these stacked defenses.
Steelers lost Devin Bush. That's a big loss.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. I actually had them make a dark horse, but the loss of Devin, I don't know.
And you could argue they were the best defense for the first 6 weeks, and I don't know how if they're going to be able to keep that up without Bush.
I'd say the best defense now would be Baltimore. They're going to win that division easily because the way I saw it is that the AFC North was going to be a toss-up between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And the Steelers' defense is not going to be the same without Bush. He's their signal caller. He's their main guy.
Yeah.
Who are your top 5 teams in the AFC?
AFC, I'd say
Chiefs.
Steelers, Titans, in no order, by the way. Steelers, Titans, Chiefs,
Bills, Ravens, I think.
Ravens, and then I'd say maybe the Bills.
I think it's fairly obvious. It's the Steelers, Chiefs, Titans, Bills, Ravens.
Yeah.
I think so.
You can make an argument for the Browns or the Patriots, I guess, but not really.
I'm hesitant to put the Bills on there because the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, me too. Who'd they get killed by again? They got killed by was it the Titans they got killed by?
Yeah.
Titans and Chiefs.
Yeah, the Titans.
They didn't get killed by
Okay, but 2 of the best they got killed by 2 of the best teams in the league. They're still a playoff team though.
They're a playoff team, so that defense has taken a massive step down from what.
Yeah, but I don't know who you'd put in the AFC above them.
Yeah, the AFC is far better than the NFC this year.
But then again, on the NFC, you have a guy who deserves MVP at this point, Russell Wilson, and that Seattle offense, who are rumored to be going for AB.
Yeah, who would you say top 5 in the NFC?
Top 5 NFC. I'd say Seahawks, Cardinals.
It's a big match behind each other.
A healthy Niners. And who else is in the
But they're not going to be healthy for months, so
the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers, and I'd say the Saints.
What about the Bears?
What about the Packers?
The Saints have been playing like crap the last couple of weeks.
Saints
except the Saints. If Michael
yeah.
Thomas gets healthy, that offense will be clicking in seconds.
Wasn't he suspended for fighting a teammate though?
He was suspended for a week, and now he has a hamstring injury.
I think that's just.
He got it today.
There's no way he has a hamstring injury for when
he got it today.
Back,
it was earlier today. Let me read it. It was where is it? Michael Thomas has tweaked a hamstring in practice this week. They are looking to see if he can play this week, which is a big rip for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to use him the entire year. This is horrible.
I'm interested to see the Bears in the next 3 weeks because I don't know if they're legit or not. In the next 3 weeks, they play the Rams on Monday night, the Saints at 4:25, and the Titans at 1.
Yeah,
so,
I think the Bears. I really like the Bears.
If they're legit.
The Bears, I'd say, would be a close 6 with the. I'd say the 5 spot could be either the Bears, the Saints, or the Packers.
No,
I mean-
Packers are easy top 5, I think.
Yeah,
Debatable.
I don't think that they got blew up last week. I still think they're a good team.
If they, I mean, then again, Tampa Bay has that defensive prowess, I guess, with Todd Bowles, who is an amazing signal caller for the defense.
Yeah. I don't know if the Bears are really legit because I'm looking at their schedule. They've beaten low teams by like barely. They've beaten the Lions by 4. They beat the Giants by only 4. They beat the Falcons by only 4. I mean, they lost to the Colts. They only put up 11 on the Colts.
I
Okay.
think that's all we have really for time.
Yeah.
Time's up. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll look forward to the end of the World Series and to Week 7 and beyond in the NFL. But thank you for listening.
I didn't say goodbye.